But if you look at the path for Bitcoin and freedom, think about all the dystopian futures that you read about, whether it's 1984, Brave New World, the Book of Revelation, whatever. All these things go out, and there's this authoritarian central authority that wants to use the money system as a way to control the population, right? And essentially, that's been done in some level in the United States of America. I mean, for a long time, people said, well, you're not going to bank those people, are you? And who those people are sometimes changed. You had horrible practices like redlining. But now you kind of see in this kind of era of woke capitalism, like, well, you're not going to bank those people, are you? They sell fossil fuels, or they, do some other non-approved thing. So, money in a sense is speech. Our Supreme Court has ruled that. But if you're going to be able to exercise your free speech, you have to be able to do it in a way that isn't canceled. Cash does that. So if you and I are face to face and in person, we can exchange cash one another. I suppose we can mail it, but it's got some fraud. It's fraught with risks, right? And so cash doesn't require a third party. So this is one of the keys to a truly functional, means of exchange. Is you don't need an intermediary to facilitate the transaction, and that's the beauty of a true distributed ledger creation like Bitcoin versus something that requires, a payment system that requires a central authority. So if you think about, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they can deny anything. Everyone's been frustrated when your credit card company was just trying to keep you safe from some fraud, which we all want them to do. But it means, well, you can't even rent a car today because I'm at the rental car counter. So things like that happen. Cash, you don't have to worry about that. I have cash. You have what I want. I'm going to give you this cash. You're going to give me what I want. And you don't have to really worry about canceling. So Bitcoin allows you to do that in a digital way, as do lots of cryptographic assets. And, I think that's the future. I think we're going to see, process improvements when you look at payment systems. But personally, I think that Bitcoin in particular as a store of value is going to be the gold standard for crypto for the foreseeable future.
Why is crypto gonna make Americans more free? And are Americans not free today? Like, again, I feel like we've seen some unprecedented things these past few months, past few years.
Well, if you think about what's going on with payment systems, one of the allegations that the authoritarians that want to preserve the status quo with our financial system say is, well, we have to be able to monitor all the transactions. We have to be able to approve or disapprove. We have to be able to catch the money launderers and tax evaders. And that's a straw man argument that they build that, well, gee, one of my colleagues, Brad Sherman from Los Angeles, literally says in every hearing that he can get is, cryptocurrency is only for, tax evaders and money launderers or narco terrorists. He says very pejorative things like this that are, willfully ignorant. I mean, he's a smart enough guy to know that that's not entirely true. But what he's doing is he's attacking, like, there's no pro tax evader lobby. There's no pro terrorist lobby, right? So he tries to paint it this way, which is dishonest, to say that, gee, that's the only reason anyone would own it. And the reality is, less than 0.5% of all crypto transactions are illicit, which is a smaller number than cash transactions. So, and look, all the activity that goes on through the banking system, also a bigger number than crypto as a percentage. Now, in terms of total volume, of course, the crypto is still a fraction of the overall global market, but even as a percentage of the activity, it's tiny. So there are people building straw man arguments because it represents a threat to the status quo. And what's that threat? It really is the system of control that's been erected. And look, the noble purpose is to catch the money launderers and tax evaders, to frankly enforce national security systems like sanctions against bad state actors. But it's coming at a huge price. It's very similar to like the Patriot Act, right? And Edward Snowden made public what a lot of people knew publicly already, is that the federal government is spying on American citizens. They're not just going after, the bad folks. They're spying on everyone to try to figure out who are the bad people, which means there's also a good guy list, So that's one of the implications of the Patriot Act. And our money is being used in the same way. And the safeguard against that is to have a true system that protects not secrecy, but privacy. So you can discern who is behind a series of transactions. You have to do a little more work than the current system. And I think that's the piece. Some of it, if you go the best cases, can we use companies like Chainalysis to follow on-chain activity and go after the bad actors? Or are they going to try to ban it outright together? And that's as crazy as trying to ban the internet. So, could people pass the ban? Yes. Can it be done effectively? No.